Welcome to the Power Up. I'm Nars, and we have it right here, the PlayStation 5, 4K graphics, amazing speed, higher frame rates, and then we have the Xbox Series X, but we'll get more into the Xbox Series X later. Let's just check out some Assassin's Creed. Absolutely stunning graphics, wicked gameplay. Oh, it's so beautiful. Whoa, now that is gorgeous. Look at that. MenaRD exploded on the global esports scene when he won the 2017 Capcom Cup and brought championship to my parents' birthplace of the Dominican Republic. This year, he's back at it again, competing with his team Dynamite in Street Fighter League, and also just qualifying for the 2021 Capcom Cup with the Bandits. I am so excited to welcome him to the Power Up. Thank you so much, Mena. How you doing, primo?
I'm doing very good, and I'm honored of being here, So
I've been wanting to interview you since you won the 2017 championship for Street Fighter. How did your world change after 2017?
First, I was able to make a career out of gaming. Without this win, it was going to be very hard to make this a reality, especially because I don't live in the United States. Then, financially, it was also a very big change, since $250,000 in my country is a lot of money, more than I ever dreamed of having. And just the way life was perceived by me completely changed. Being able to travel the world, see different cultures, and make many friends all around the world, and focus on what I like to do, it's a different experience to what it was.
The scene in Dominican Republic for esports especially is very new. So talk to me about what the scene is like in Dominican Republic and what are you doing to change that?
Prior to my win, there was a lot of interest in players that participated in gaming competitions locally, but most of the Dominican people didn't take it seriously at all and consider it something for kids. But after the world title, a lot of our organizations such as Blink started getting involved in it, realizing it was not only a community of fans but a big market of gamers. The competitive talent of the DR, it's world class, and more players started getting opportunities to show it. So it changed. It changed the perspective towards gaming in the country. Now everybody knows about it and know it's possible to have a gaming career.
So talk to me about kind of like your childhood and growing up. What did your parents kind of like say about your passion for gaming? Were they like, oh, es una monería, what are you doing? This is like whatever. Like, how did you fight that? How did you keep staying strong for yourself?
My father was part of the Dominican Republic Police Department for 36 years.
Oh, wow.
So he's extremely strict. He was like, no, this is not what you're gonna do. I work very hard for you to just waste your time, And then I started traveling, and it was too much for him. So he said, you have 1 year to make it possible. Only 1 year.
What?
And I did it. That's the year I won Capcom Cup.
Talk to me about how you made your hobby your career.
Well, I didn't always think of it as a career, but I always believe in my skill. Like, as soon as I got the chance, the visa, I went to get the visa, and they said yes. I was like, well, now it can happen. That's one of the hardest parts, to actually get the chance to show your skill internationally. So as soon as I got that, I said, maybe I can be the one.
And I'm so happy that DR is supporting our people back there to make it happen. So you qualified for the Capcom 2020 Cup. Who's your greatest rival? Who do you want to go up against? Give me the nitty gritty.
I don't necessarily have a rival there right now, but I would like to fight, Gachiken.
Gachiken.
2018 Capcom Cup champion, and he's in my group in Capcom Cup, so I think it's gonna be a very good fight.
Now, I know this is probably a little bit extra, but if you wanted to speak to anybody that's out there that probably looks to you, is inspired by you, wants to do gaming, what would you say to them?
You gotta be persistent, because when you are persistent, you don't really fail unless you stop trying,
Mena, thank you so much for today. But until next time, guys, thanks so much for stopping by. Good luck in the cup, Mena. Thank you again for dropping by. Ah, that fresh new console smell. Am I the only one that does this? Let me know if I'm not. You got your little slim, tall console. You got your little chunky console. Even the chunky consoles need to get some love. It really depends what titles you guys want. If you want God of War Ragnarok, or if you want Halo Infinite. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either one of them. Don't worry, 2021 is going to be a great year, especially with these bad boys. What's up, Aphromoo? Thank you so much for joining me.
Hello. Glad to be here.
Now, before I ask you about your preference between PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, let's talk about your professional career. Obviously, we can start from VA or we can start from CLG, but kind of walk us through your entire timeline to today.
I think you guys are the first people that have asked about V8. No one else has. Yeah, I mean, from V8, well, basically, I was playing solo queue ladder, streaming, playing all the TSM invitationals, and Fanboard reached out to me to play for his team that he made with his brother, which is called V8 Esports. We have a sick montage and everything on YouTube. You can look it up. And we did my first tournaments. Obviously, my parents didn't want me to do it. They thought it was weird. I was traveling across the United States to play 3 tournaments. IPL, actually 2 tournaments. IPL and then IEM New York. So after that, yeah, it was just straight into playing for team after team, until finally I was able to land myself on CLG.
And since then, you've kind of gone to other teams as well. 100 Thieves has been one of them, and now you're with Dignitas. Has that been kind of a up and down kind of journey for you, or it has been something worthwhile?
Yeah, I think coming onto the teams, I was an AD carry first, and no one needed an AD carry, so I just swapped over to support. And since then, I've been playing it for a long time. And being in the support role, definitely fast forward me to being, I guess, a parent of the team, where you have to take care of everyone, make sure they're doing well, put them in a good position for success. And I think across my career, I just became more and more mature at a fast pace in terms of doing that for each team that I'm on. And I would never regret it.
You actually made support popular, which is pretty interesting, considering that you're considered a god or a legend on Thresh. But even beyond that, some of your Lulu plays have been notarized and kind of support history, in the sense that not a lot of people thought support was a fun position to play or role to play, but you absolutely demolished that idea. Now let's talk about that and your career, and then also Twitch. Can you tell us why it's so popular? You yourself are super popular on Twitch. A lot of your community and your support comes from your Twitch fans as well.
Yeah, I think Twitch is just a gaming space where it's okay to be a gamer. I know growing up, there was not a lot of people in high school or anything like that, that played the games I did. I grew up playing, Diablo 2. Nobody I knew in school played that, so I just felt, alone in that regard. But Twitch.tv is a place where you go to stream your game and people can watch, and everyone who has something in relation to you can relate, spend time there, be a part of the community, make friends. And some of my friends online are my best friends, and they will be, for the rest of my life. Whereas I couldn't say that, growing up. For the support role, yeah, there wasn't a lot of good, I would say, feedback in terms of playing the role. It was usually just you're the vending machine. Yeah. You're just giving everybody, nutrients and stuff like that. But support actually just became something fun, and Twitch was definitely one of the main reasons that was possible. I
mean, consider your color commentary on some of your streams, which is pretty fun to watch.
True. I do have a sailor's mouth, so.
But it makes for enjoyable, entertaining content. And considering there was a time where streaming was pretty much the thing that you did the most in between switching from teams, talk to us about how your community helped you kind of come back into the esports scene.
And I probably wouldn't really be doing it if it wasn't for them, and keep playing the support role. There were times, I wanted to go back to AD carry, that's for sure. Just because I thought I still have it, and playing in the back lines wasn't as flashy. I always thought, people, why do you watch it? When I'm just literally sitting there, not CSing, just using my brain and looking at the map, nothing too flashy. But going from team to team, it's definitely made me appreciate the role a lot more. And I appreciate my community for, loving the role too. So it's definitely good to relate to as many people as I do.
But do you want to talk about kind of your time on 100 Thieves and then your short departure? Is that something you feel comfortable talking about?
So yeah, 100 Thieves, great org. I had a good time on that org, I would say, for the first year, and then yeah, definitely went downhill from there, I bet. obviously everybody could tell, you know, the team wasn't meshing. Nothing was working. We kept losing, swapping players in and out, and that was probably the worst point in my career, for sure.
I'm so sorry to hear that. But you're better off, right? You're with Dignitas now, yes? Are you happier?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
happier?
definitely happier. The last 2 splits we didn't do too hot, but that's to be expected, I guess. Coming into a new team where I think we're running a 10-man roster, and we were also swapping players in and out. And for me personally, I just, you know, haven't seen that be successful yet on any team. And just because the split is so short, you have so many limited amount of games, 18 games to qualify, you know, for playoffs, for worlds, and swapping all the time just doesn't really promote synergy or anything like that.
Okay, the final question. Are you a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X guy?
I've never had an Xbox in my life. So I have to go with
That's what I'm
PlayStation.
talking about. Yes! I love it. All right, PlayStation 5 right here all the way. Thank you so much, Aphromoo, for joining me on The Power Up.
Yeah, of course. Pleasure to be here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. That's our show for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the next episode of The Power Up.